One of the cool things and tricky things about the name of our center, the Global Center for Christ Consciousness, and we use for short, we sometimes just say, welcome to the center, but it's kind of a funny play on words because the center is easily your center, right? It is your center and it is also your center. I love that double meaning because it adds the applicable but also the personal meaning to it all. So what topics would you like me to cover today? Yes.
Spiritual bypassing and taming the ego.
Okay. That's two, technically. Anyone else? Yes?
Holiness.
Impulses.
Light codes?
Impatience.
Hold on one. That was classic, wasn't it? Impatience.
Impulses.
One more.
Impulses.
Okay. Yes.
Muscle and joint release.
Sometimes a joint is just too good for some people to release. What? Oh, you meant, I'm sorry. Okay, good. That's enough. Okay, cool. Wow, nice. Quite a variety, all very, very cool, very deep. Typically, we reach all of the topics requested, or I would say at least 80%, 90% of them. Do what I can, and it has to be kind of easy, to tie into other topics. It's not just about addressing each topic, it's about blending them appropriately. And the topics ranging from taming the ego, spiritual bypassing, light codes, impatience, impulses, and so on, several others, crucifying self, and so on. It's very interesting when when you think about topics like this. A lot of things come up in our lives, issues, triggers, and the people around us. Impatience or blissful things like, oh, wow, we're ascending. And then controversial things, politics, economy. And then, there's just such a variety. It should not be a surprise to anybody to ever, you or people around you, to be struck with an issue like impatience. Because technically, there's something wrong with the world. We all know that. This is not, the way Yogananda puts it, this is not the one God created. Or Buddha says, you have to lift veils to see the real world. Well, wait. That implies there's a real one and a not real one. You know why you're impatient? Because you see the not real one and you're looking forward to the real one. So you should be impatient, but not really too much, because too impatient would mean I'm tired of waiting, which means it's not here yet, which affirms you're not going to feel it yet. The impatience, just remember to turn impatience into excitement for positives. Now, if impatience is there because, and trust me, the more we grow spiritually, I say this in mastery workshops, mastery development, one of the most common things about developing mastery is not just learn to love unconditionally, learn how to focus, learn how to use willpower. These are all masterful concepts and techniques. But one of the things I say about mastery, the more you become masterful, the more impatient you might become. I'm not implying all impatient people are masterful. What I'm saying is sometimes, because of your brilliance, mastery, or because of your psychological challenges, either one of those, because it's real close, the similarity between genius and crazy. Similarly, you could be masterful or just challenged and feel impatient. Why? Because you see things, you know things, and they process quickly, and other people don't process that quickly. Would you like an ice cream bar? Well, let me check in and let me muscle test that. And just yes or no. Well, I don't, let me feel into that. Oh my God, you're done with your cone, your soda, everything else, and they're still, Some people are going to want to process longer. What you have to watch out for is some of them are actually messing with you. That's called passive-aggressive behavior. The last thing an impatient person wants is to hang out with passive-aggressive people because they're going to be testing you the whole time. Whether they know it or not, there's going to be this little, and then it pushes buttons. But whether it's the masterful or whether it's the psychological challenges, we still have to ask ourselves, how can I demonstrate greater love today? And patience, if you think patience is a thing you're granting to people, you still don't get it. If you don't love them, then you're only giving them a little treat for the moment. It needs to really come from the soul, all of us. Patience with politicians, patience with the world, patience with all that's going on. In case it's not obvious, time, none of this is real, and time is proving it. I think I'm going to do one of those short videos on this, maybe today, I don't know when, but time is changing because it's collapsing. So some minutes, one moment, like it seems like here it is, it's let's say Monday, feels like it's Friday. But tomorrow, on Tuesday, it feels like it's Sunday. 1 minute time's going this way, and the other minute it's going that way. Time seems like it's really speeding up today. The next day, it's really slowing down, isn't it? So you either have people that just make up things to say, or they're right. There's something going on. And you're going to be impatient with this, impatient with the world. Man, I don't even know what day it is anyway. Impatient. But relax, because the cure is not to wrestle with this world or its trips. It's to step back and go, oh. A little bit of, well, I get it. Yesterday, it was speeding up. Today, it's slowing down. What's wrong with the world? Me, and it must be the politicians. Stop. No. The world is collapsing. Its whole reality was never real in the first place, and it's collapsing. The good news is we're starting to see it for what it really isn't. I almost said is, and then I just didn't stop. For what it really isn't. And one of the cures to a lot of things that we're talking about, even achieving that sense of holiness, taming the ego, that's a tricky one because a lot of modern teachers, the spiritual teachers of today, they've been on the path for about a week and a half, and they're online telling you how brilliant they are, and they've got a following. It's a trip because they'll use words like, the ego, and no, you have to befriend your ego. No. The ego is the part of you that doesn't want you to wake up. The ego, whether you think of it as a psychological thing, think of it as a program, software that you downloaded into your being. Bottom line is, it has no idea, no interest in your greater good. Now, I'm not making it an evil. That would imply that it exists. It's software we downloaded, and it is radical. And it is worm virus-like, and it goes after every bit of your greater good and tries to destroy it. It will infiltrate and it will corrupt every file in your being to where you no longer know what end is up. What do you do for that? Pretend it's not happening. Befriend it. Try befriending a worm virus. Send it a Word document. Hello, worm virus. I know you're in there somewhere, but I love you. Please don't harm me. It doesn't go, oh, okay. It doesn't work that way. It is created to destroy you. And those of you who are ego lovers, be patient. I apologize. This isn't going to get any better for you. But listen, those of you who try to pet your ego into submission, you are in trouble. Because it doesn't go, okay, you little ego, hello, aren't you? You're being so vicious today, aren't you? Aren't you? Yes. It doesn't work that way. It says, I hate you and I'm going to kill you. And you're going, there. It doesn't go, well, now that you're being sweet. It doesn't work that way. This is an anti-Christ thing. This is an anti-God thing. The people that are telling you to befriend your ego are participating in anti-God consciousness. And someone has to say no to crazy, to hurtful, abusive things. Because technically, if you want to befriend your ego, then you have to join those who are saying, and therefore, abusive people, they were just having a bad day. Yeah, really. Adolf, what's up with this? Come on, dude. You're just having a bad day. No, that's not what was happening. Someone allowed their ego to go rampant, to take them over, become evil enough to harm other people en masse. I don't care how many people he killed. One person being hurtful to one person is not okay. It's not a number you reach that you call it not okay. It's all hurtfulness is not okay. And it does not come from your soul, hurtfulness. It doesn't come from your divinity. It comes from one place, listening to your ego as your guide. It has to stop. And it will stop because it is God's will that no soul will perish, which is the same as saying no soul was meant ever to be controlled by their ego. Then why is it happening? Because we've been weak enough to allow this. This is hiding from our divinity. Hiring the ego was our way of hiding from our light. And enough is enough. It's time to say, no, I'm going to start taking greater responsibility. When I act selfishly or hurtfully, I'm reminding myself, that's not the real me. That's the egoic me. And I'm the one who stops that. This is in Yogananda's teaching, Christ through A Course in Miracles teaching, concepts like you are far too lenient of mind wandering. Yogananda says the same thing. Stop and start observing your thoughts. Go all the way back, Ernest Holmes and whomever else, who's trying to tell you, watch your thoughts. They're pretty evil. I don't always mean wicked, dark evil. Even the ones that say you're not very lovely, you're not very kind, you're not good enough, somebody else deserves more. Those are evil thoughts. They're called evil at one time in history. Now we have lighter terms for them. But the bottom line is they're not God thoughts. And if they're not God thoughts, why do you want them? Well, I have a different name for them. I use semi-ego. Why? If they're not God thoughts, why not just let them go? I choose to only have thoughts that God would want me to have. I only want to feel emotions that God would will for me. God, not because we're worshiping superstitiously something in the sky. I'm talking about God that is within us, a divine light in us that really still knows our true self. The ego has convinced us we're everything but that. And one thing we do, we all have to work on this word, commitment. Commit to things. Human beings are interesting because they don't realize how they hedge on everything. Well, I don't know what I want for dinner. Well, the waiter is waiting. I know, but if I get this, I might have wanted that. Once I start eating that, I might go, well, listen, there's a cure. You can cure that. Eat this, and if you decide you want the other, get that as well. After a while, within a year, I imagine, ordering multiple meals at each thing, you're going to be broken. You can't do it anymore. So you'll be okay now. You'll know something's going to teach you the easy way or the hard way to learn what are you feeling. Just sit with it. And you're not a horrible person if you order a meal and decide you want something else. Then order it too. Be gentle on yourself. See, if I had a child and it said, I want this, and then, but now that one tastes even better, get that too for the kid. Why not? I'm not saying enable every kind of strange behavior. I'm saying teach that next time, try to imagine what food would feel the best for you today. What really connects with where you're at? And then order that particular thing. But this is in every topic. Human beings just keep playing non-committal. Now, we all have heard people say, my partner is non-committal. And they're usually men being blamed, but human beings are non-committal. And somebody can say, like when you sing a song, how committed are you? It could be the song called Sing a Song by Earth, Wind, and Fire, and you're like, sing it. If you sing a song today, you will make a better way. Yeah, at the end of the song. Sing it. When you feel down and out, sing a song. It's hard to be bummed when you're singing an upbeat song. Right? It changes your frequency. Do anything. Do something. Applaud for no reason. In the appropriate place. Yeah. Probably not at a friend's funeral or something, but The right place and time. Come out. What's going to happen if you come out? And even people that sit in an audience like this, and certainly they might think, I say something, they don't think it's funny, they don't laugh, that's fine. But sometimes even when something's funny, no, I can't laugh. I just refuse. That's commitment issues. Commit. Come out wherever you are. But there's a lot of reasons, mainly fear of hurt, that people don't come out. Commit. Commit to a relationship. What have you got to lose? Well, it could be the wrong one. Then why are you dating it? I'm waiting to see. For how long? At some point, just move. Just go. You know, there's a mastery workshop I do, okay? Now, I'm having everybody do the fire walks, and we used to do it at this mastery workshop, fire walk, all this cool stuff that you could do at a mastery workshop to learn that you can do anything. So they're doing all these really cool things. And one of them was you go up, halfway up on a tall ladder, 6 rungs, 4 rungs, depending on how much you can handle. And you go up, and then you interlace, and you put your hands like, and you fall back, and your team, everybody catches you. Have you seen those? Okay, they catch you. Now, it's kind of interesting. And, some just stand on the ground and fall back, and it's like 1.5 feet, and that's enough for them. But you get up on a ladder, 4 rungs or whatever, and you fall back, everybody catches you. And it's got a lot of variety of meaning to it, but it's a commitment. It's not just team building. It's not just trust building. You made a commitment. So we were all done with that exercise, and we were all leaving, and somebody goes, Michael, do you want to go? And I'm like, no, but I'm like, oh my God. Because I hadn't realized till that second. Fear of height. I could feel it viscerally in me. What do you think I'm going to do? I've got to commit. I do. Let me think about it. I have to commit. This is sanity's sake. This is the real world. Let's go. Up the rungs, No, not 4th or 5th. I went to the top of the dang tall ladder. It was a tall ladder. I went to the top. Now, when they say it's good to go, you go. Now I don't just go timidly. I'm like, psh, like some diver in the Olympics. Psh, flip, ankle. Terrified, but I just did it anyway. Because if they go, shoo, and you hit the ground, you've died trusting. And it's funny, but I'm serious. See? Get in the state of trust. Trust the chiropractor and get in a job. It freaks me out. Yeah, whatever, but you're in pain. Just let them trust, try. And you can say to them, don't adjust this area, that, and they should honor what you're saying. Put the boundaries if you must, but then trust. Come out. I'm saying if you don't, you're stuck. Remember, I've said this many times. In Dante's Divine Comedy, people always think of hell, fire, brimstone. People don't realize in Divine Comedy, he's describing like this core part of hell is a frozen lake, not fire and brimstone, a frozen lake. The devil is frozen from the waist down because that's where the naughty bits are. From the waist down frozen, and in the lake are the parts of people's bodies all frozen. Meaning, any part of you that's frozen is in hell. Any part we do not live cannot be redeemed. You can talk to God. God, teach me to have more trust in relationships. God will go, try getting in one. You've got to come out. You've got to live it for these things to be turned around, to be lived, to be redeemed. We want God to fix everything, and God's going, well, come out. But I can't. What we're really doing is, as long as the world is not only perfect, waiting for me perfectly the way I want it, under my control, then I will trust and come out. I will commit. I'll commit as long as everything's set up perfectly, which it will never be in a world that was created by the ego that's imperfect. And you want it under your control. And that's kind of the opposite of trust. I understand the reasonableness to say, well, wait, don't ask us to trust and just leap into harm. Absolutely not. Start by creating in here a better person, a clearer person, a person that creates healthier surroundings, healthier relationships. But I want to find the person that'll never sneeze. Then just be a monk and hope that none of the other monks catch cold, because then you're going to hate them too. All of these things are triggers. Guys, listen, our fear of God is why we don't trust in people. And Jesus is saying when you don't trust people, you don't trust God. You want to say, I love you, God. It's people I have an issue with. And Jesus himself said, no, you are experiencing God through those people. See light in others, and it's showing your greater love for God. It's proving your greater love for God. And most of us know, no, that's not true. I have been burned by 20 people in my life. That's not make-believe. That's not fake. I've been hurt. I have a tangible reason to not come out. I get that. And before you met those 20 people, guess what happened when you introduced yourself? Hi, I have issues. And they said, that's perfect for me because I love pushing buttons on people that have those issues. Before they came in to hurt you, they already came in with a song. There was a song playing when they arrived. Dun, 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 dun. When they arrived, there was music and you didn't listen. Because in your hedging, which is usually subconscious, in your hedging to trust, it already sent out a frequency. I don't trust, and therefore you drew untrustworthy people. I'm not shaming or wronging you. I'm saying, and this is your opportunity to be born again. To say, no, I'm going to start committing more. You know, people that say, I'm not going to get too excited about that new job. I'm not going to get, this relationship. It might be happening, but I'm going to wait. People are hedging and holding back. Imagine kids on Christmas morning and trees, gifts under the tree. Are you excited? No, not yet. I'm going to wait till I see what's under the tree. I want to unwrap everything. Then I'll breathe into it. And then I'll feel as to whether I should say, Mommy, thank you, or not. Mom, this is about a 5 on a 0 to 10 scale. This whole Christmas experience today, it's about a 5. Could you raise the bar next year? That doesn't even sound enticing or fun. And that's not the way a kid does it. You could wrap a spoon and they'll be like, woo, because there's excitement. They commit to the excitement. I know that I'm not saying leap into unsafe things. I'm saying get yourself healthy enough, your relationship with God and yourself, enough, not perfectly, enough to say, I feel kind of together enough to be able to trust now the third relationship, others. Don't go looking for God or self in others, because it won't work. It's dangerous. It implies you don't have this. Therefore, trying to get it from others, it's going to fail. They're going to fail. Whether they're nice or not nice, they're going to fail. Bring God, bring self, bring your own healthiness and awakening. A person in a 12-step program is typically taught this is not the place to be hitting on others because you're supposed to be working on yourself, although it happens a lot. Oh, I met my wife at a 12-step group, and it's love is love. Something happens. It happens once in a while that it's even beautiful, authentic, but it's not advised because you're supposed to be focusing on God and self right now. Then bringing that to others. So even if you're going to go to 12-step groups to hook up, you might want to think maybe be there a couple of years first. No offense if you're a 12-step hookup person, okay? I'm just saying there's ways to do it right and ways not. So there are people that say, my partner, doesn't commit, or they're telling me about issues with a partnership. And I can detect sometimes in there, the word commitment is part of what's happening. Well, I would commit, but they did this, they did. And I'm very clean, clear, and straightforward. If somebody says to me, well, I really want to commit to my wife, but, she, for the first months that we were married, she was still calling her ex. It's very simple. I say to them, you sit down with your partner and you say this. You say, first you have to ask yourself, does it feel like they're cheating? Are they the type? Why are they reaching out to that person? If they're helping them through some tragedy in their life, maybe that was okay. But check it out. Find out. If the person you're partnered with is untrustworthy, you have to decide that. Then let them go. There are counselors in this world that'll say, and this happens way too often, couples will say to me, well, my partner cheated. And they always do the look at the partner when they're telling me about it. And they're like, oh, I do feel terrible about this, man. And then they'll say, but we went to a counselor and they said, let it go. It's in the past and move on. I'm like, no. I'm like the crazy guy going, no, that doesn't work. You don't just go, I think I'll forget that entire incident, honey. It was just a bad day you were having, probably weakened, and it doesn't work. And I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying the person that cheated and the person that was cheated on cannot pretend it didn't happen and get back together. They have to die today. The person that cheats must die and never do that again. That is not me anymore. The person over there that was cheated on has to say, I'm not interested in that person. Can you bring another one? You can't rekindle the love, the relationship with the same things that behaved, that created it. So I tell them, no, only if you can trust that that's gone. You can't rekindle with the same craziness, with the same hurt, the same irresponsibility, the same addictions. It's got to go. Can you do that? So you do a nice ceremony where you say goodbye to the old. And of course, the person that's done deeds like that is looking for any amount of anybody that would like to overlook those kinds of things, because then they're avoiding it. Make a commitment. Commit to talking this stuff through, first of all. You can't pretend things didn't happen, but talk them through to the point of completion. Not just, you promise you'll never cheat again. What you say is, why did it happen? What's happening in you? I want to know your soul. What weakened you to go that direction? See, make it a therapeutic thing between the two. Don't just make it a little ceremony of, we're going to pretend it never happened. It will not work. It will not. I mean, just randomly, these things will come up because there's hurt that's happening there. And people take stuff out on each other, and it's just, it's like you're asking about that, taming the ego in a relationship. It just doesn't work that way. The ego is going to keep trying to protest and say, listen to me, I'm your guide. I don't want you to ever trust anything until I let you know, which it will never do, because it is not capable of true love or true trust, commitment, and so on. So in our lives, we hold back. And yes, people hold back romantically. They hold back like sexually. They hold back in terms of just letting themselves love, like come out. I know hurt can happen. Then you're saying hurt becomes my guide. But I'm not saying leap into hurt. I'm saying heal and let yourself evolve to a point where you can trust yourself. I feel clear enough to where I can test this out. Test drive this situation. Pace yourself. You don't have to leap, but you got to do something. Come out to some degree. The job. But I don't know if it's the right job for me. Well, try it. Come out. But when you go, show up and be excited rather than, yeah, I'm here, but, and hedging. And oh my God, people do this in so many different ways. Consciously or unconsciously, mostly unconsciously, we're hedging. People don't even put clothes on sometimes without hedging. I don't know if this is the right outfit. We're living with the brakes on. How can you go with the foot on the brake? But what can you do to let the brake off? Accelerate. No. Ease it off. Take it easy. But go. It's okay. Just try it out. Go. Let yourself come forward. I'm very odd in a lot of ways. And when I first came to Sedona, they said, here's a contract. We're going to have you as our interim spiritual leader. And I said, that's fine. Let's go for a year or two, and then I can repair things, get you guys filled up with audience and all that. And then I can take off and go somewhere else if you want. We're all good with that decision. However, that vibe, which is a contract I agreed to. Yes, let's do a year or two. That vibe, listen carefully. That vibe, it sounds reasonable, but what happened is I was always on tour. So somebody who was used to being on tour was being asked to make a Commitment. Oh, but it was only for a year or two, so I had an out. You see? I had an out. And it wasn't like I was wanting or needing to go. Subconsciously, my program pattern was I was always on tour. To be in one place, and so on. But my mind, I have this ability, I just adapt. I just stepped in and we just went for it. And it turned out really beautiful. But interestingly, a couple of people said, we love the way this center is being run. And Michael, we love you as the spiritual leader, but we would like to take it over and step in and kind of do a coup and take over the board, fire old board members. We're going to become the new board. You'll be the spiritual leader. And it was bizarre. And I said, no, I'm not going to be part of that. So these guys kind of went crazy and did all this trip. But what's interesting is that I saw why. Look at yourself. It's not that I did anything wrong, but by taking on interim, it made this other party think they could take it because I'm only temporary. So this is interesting because them trying to take it over made me have to say, I'm here. And once daddy showed up, stepdad had no place in this place. The wicked stepmother, but the replacements. So you have to show up. The more you show up, the less chance of whatever else. When you say to your husband or wife, I hope you never cheat on me, that's hedging. You see, you hope. You have to say something like, you'll be missing parts the next morning if I ever hear it. Make it clear. Look at them. Are you hearing me? Oh, honey, I would never. No. Look in my eyes. I'm serious. Don't even think about it. And you do your thing and you do your wording. But what I'm saying is, the world, when a vicious rabid dog, it's foaming at the mouth, is coming at you, you don't go, honey, could you not bark at me? No. You let it know. You don't go to tame a lion and go, I'd really rather you not maul me. You can be spiritual. You can hold your hands here and go, beloved lion, oh, we're all one, aren't we? Gone. The world that's run by ego, which is the world we have allowed to go rampant, is waiting for somebody to show up and say no. I remember a girl when I was in high school. I watched this, and this gal, she had this dog. She was with her child, and this dog came at them, and it wasn't with great intention. And this kind of meekish, small woman, no! The dog just paused and went the other way. Ego needs to be told, whether it's a vicious animal or what, somebody's got to show up. When you're weak, everybody goes rampant. Go and watch your Kid Whisperer, Dog Whisperer, all these shows about the whisperers, horse whisperers. They're telling you, the children, the dogs, the horses, all they're doing is reflecting your weaknesses. Show up and it'll change. It isn't all technique. It's, watch those people, and they're all saying the same thing. It's about you showing up. So that's what I did. And I sat with that and thought, I knew I didn't not show up in a way that was overt or careless. It was my contract. But I realized, and so I asked the attendees, here's what's happening. We have an interim, and I'm good to go because I'm not interested in participating in any of this ego stuff that was starting to flare for a few months. I wasn't interested, but I said, okay, so here's where I'm at with this. They're going to come after you guys because they want your center. This is what I said. If you want me to stay here, we will get this and it'll work. I would rather leave. This is what I told the people. I'd rather leave. I don't want to sit here and deal with all this ego crap and this ego and legal stuff. This is not, I never said, gee, I think I'd like to go to Sedona and deal with lawsuits. That's not what was on my mind. Where's the peace and the love? Where's the energy? All this. Where's all that stuff? And I'm here and I'm sitting in a courtroom. I'm serious. Like I'm so not that type that our lawyer, we had to go to court. And the judge just threw it all out, said it was insane. But our lawyer, he had to bring a coat and a tie. That's how foreign this is to me. I had to have a lawyer putting on a coat and putting a tie and wrapping it and over and under 3 times like a Boy Scout. And then, you know, and I'm like, can you leave the top button undone so I can breathe under? No, it has to be. And I'm like turning red, you know. Commit, show up. Show up as parents. Let your kids know, actually, that's not going to happen. When mommy, can I have some cake before dinner? You know you really shouldn't. That is not an answer. That means I would rather you didn't, but you have power over me. Showing up. Showing up when you have to merge into traffic. Show up. Stay hyper passive and you'll sit there going, well, nobody's letting me in. They will. Accelerate. They will. They don't actually want you to hit them, but they're saying to you universally, show up. Oh, would you like in? I'm going to test you. Show up. Subconsciously, and it's almost fun and funny if you think about it, that the world is mirroring your doubts, your hesitations, your insecurities. It is. But I don't believe in plowing over people in contrast. It's just take some responsibility. So I had to say, if you guys want me here, I'll be here. I'd love to leave. If you guys could just say, no problem. I'd love to, and they said, no, all of them voted, no, please stay and do this with us. I said, fine. And I did. But what you're going to do well. Show up. Don't meditate halfway. Show up. Don't pray halfway. I was sharing this in our group, one of the groups yesterday. When you pray, superstitiously, people think that God's impressed with your prayers. Like, whoa, you threw in Latin. I love that. So I'm going to grant your wish. That's not what happens with God. The achieved prayers are starting with human sincerity. Just us doing the best we can with our words. That starts the prayer. But the real, bless you, the real achievement is that in your prayers, the closer you can get your prayers to being the consciousness of God, the prayer is answered. But it isn't granted by God. It's that you raised up high enough to pray in the consciousness of God. And then some of us will say, oh, God gave me, wow, I had a miracle. Thank you, God. God's like, it was you, man. You finally showed up. It's true. Show up. You're a divine child of mine. Show up. We think it's humble to say, oh, not me. There's televangelists out there with gallons of hairspray, most of them. But there's televangelists out there on the tube saying, you are sinners. You need to say, I am a sinner, Lord. And they still get miracles. But you know why? Because of the humility, but not the affirmation. It was like you got step 1, the humility, sincerity, and then you ruined the prayer. You got enough to get some sort of granted wish, that's great, but you failed to become what you were praying to. Become the God that you're praying to. And that's not sacrilegious, but some people will say it is. It's sacrilegious to try to be something that God didn't create you to be. God created you in its image, and we want to fake that we're something less. God created us in its image. It has no image. So that doesn't even make sense. The Bible right there is wrong. No, it isn't. It meant something, not literal. Created in God's image meant you're created in God's consciousness. You have all the power of God's consciousness. But please step up and own it, is what Spirit's saying. Come on. And millions of years. And we're barely scratching the surface of getting to the real depths of what prayer is. It's false humility is not coming from God. It's coming from the ego, convincing you that humility is the way to go, but it's not real humility. It's lying. Trying to pretend you're something that God didn't say you are is egotistic, ego-centered. Now, you know, when I look at myself and I'm looking at some of your questions and comments, the crucifying of self, man, what that means is the dying of old. See, Jesus didn't just resurrect and ascend. He has to commit to who he is. Total commitment. Are you the Christ? Yes, I am. See, that's if Jesus would have said no, he could have survived and not been crucified. And this is what the ego will use. You see what happens to those who commit spiritually, they get crucified. No, no. He already did it. Now it's called not crucifixion, it's called redundant. He's already done it. You don't have to be crucified, but it'll feel like you're being crucified when you step up and own who you are. It'll look like, who do you think you are? And it's true. The fastest gun in the West always had people challenging the fastest gun, by coming in and trying to compete with you. Don't compete. Just hold your space. Know who you are. Not get so bruised when people attack, because they will, because they're not in their God center. You are at times when you're in your center. They don't like that. Who do you think you are? And you don't know what to say. Because if you say, a child of God, it's going to get attacked. I'm a nobody, well, now you're already attacked yourself. What do we do, man, in this craziness? Well, crucify the self means the old self. You can't crucify the Christ self. Crucify your old self. Die of the old. Make a commitment. I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions. I'm not talking about make yourself quit smoking, make yourself quit drinking, don't even breathe. It's extreme. But to be able to crucify the ego, and I don't mean fight it and kill it. I mean, let it go. Let it go. Crucify the self, the old self. Can I, and I can do so gently, but it doesn't usually go without fight. But can I let the old self go? I have a self who's insecure. What's wrong with letting that go? Let's bring it to the altar and, hey, God, this is trippy, man, but I'm so insecure. It could be I'm not as pretty as some, not handsome as some. Whatever it is, bring it to the altar. Talk about it. And this has an effect in my life. I see it. I own it. And it's time to let this go. Let all, as much as possible, let things go. I love the word holiness one of you brought up, because this is crucifying of the old self allows the holy self to come through. Holiness is not sacrilegious. Go in some circles, some churches. How are you guys doing? Oh, I'm doing great. I'm a holy child of God. They'll think that's bad. Hey, listen, they think they're what are you, a new ager? One of those new agers with positive thinking? You're a holy child of God. There are groups that actually think that's evil. That's the devil speaking to say, I am a holy child of God. No, I am. I just don't always act like it. And that's the part that needs to be looked at, therapied, counseled, improved, worked on, but mainly forgiven. The more I can forgive my false self, the more it can lie down and be retired for lack of work. I don't have to kill it, just retire it. You have no place here. The part that says, anytime that you're in groups, you start to, shut down and breathe and come out. It's an amazing thing and it's beautiful. But all heavens celebrate. I swear, all the heavens are celebrating when you get past that thing that wants to shut you down and you come out a little more. Sing a little more. We have a workshop in mastery, and what are your greatest fears? And so he says, I could never picture myself singing. Guess where I'm going with that? If you want secrets, don't tell me. Well, we're going to have you sing. Oh, no, I can't. Now we worked out a few minutes, but I don't know what song, and I can't sing it. Start with this. Happy birthday. And you make it light. Next thing you know, they sing it, and, oh, we made it. And then I have to ask them, now check in. Are you still here? Did you spontaneously combust? You made it. You achieved it. Nice job. And you must do that. Remember that anytime you're coming out, anytime you're testing the water and thawing out, don't forget to say, I did it, and give thanks. You have to own the achievement because the ego is going to try to, as quickly as possible, to discredit it so you go back to the old consciousness. It's interesting because I'm not an ambitious kind of person. A lot of people, spiritual leaders or authors, they think more ambitiously. I'm not an ambitious-y kind of person. What is Michael? Michael, where do you want to eat? We're going to go out to lunch. I don't say we're going here. I don't actually do that. Here's what I do generally in my life, I swear, since early on in my life. I throw a line in and see what comes back. Where would you guys most enjoy eating? And one time they said Asian food. Well, I don't eat almost anything that's normal. So when they say we're going to go to Asian, Oh, I guess I could go. That's not how you do it. Great, let's go. In the back of my mind, I know there's nothing on the menu that I could eat. But when we got there, you know what I asked him for? A large bowl of fortune cookies. There's always a way. There's always a way, man. And they're all eating their, slapa noodle and whatever else, these weird, bizarre mixes of things with all these really intense, spicy liquids, whatever they call those things. I'm serious. And I'm like, oh, look, I'll be falling in love soon next. Oh, I'll be falling out of love soon. Oh, love doesn't last, killing me softly with his song. But I throw the line in the water and just see, and it's a weird way for some people. Because it'll sound like, well, Michael, you're not committed. Step, what do you want? I don't feel like there's much of a me that needs anything. A me. Where's that personality? I don't feel like it's there much, but not dissociatively speaking. I just mean I'm okay. I just feel okay. So you can have what looks non-committal when you're at a state of being okay. Does that make sense? Beware of that, because you don't want the being good, okay, to look non-committal, because that's how it'll look to some people. So you explain it. Now, I'm okay with wherever we go. Oh, you poor thing, you should ask for what you want. I already did, and I'm already there. Us going to lunch is what I asked for, and that's my bliss. Yeah, but what do you want to eat? I don't care. I'll find bread and butter anywhere. Well, they didn't have butter at the Asian place, but that's why I went fortune cookie on them. Anyway, even back in high school, I remember this one moment, there were two gals that expressed interest, and I was, and interested. What do I do? I asked them questions about their beliefs in God. When I don't care who's got the better look, who's got the better body, what I asked was questions about God. And one felt like they were more strongly committed to God. I married that person. And it lasted like 10 years. It was nice. But that's what I asked. I throw in a line. I test the water a little bit. I do that with so many things. Whether it's romance, whether it's whatever. I put it out there to see the path of least resistance, the ease. I'm not going to fight to make things happen in my life. If I were to have an employee that were thinking about quitting, I might just have a casual conversation. So how have you been? Great. We were thinking, this is just made up here. We were thinking about having to let go of that position. If I see them go, good, because I was thinking of leaving, we're good, we're done. See, I test the water. But that's not because I'm being non-committal. That is my way of getting commitment. I want to know who's solid in this situation. You see? And I don't just do this with individuals. I do this with the universe. I was selling the house I lived in 10 years ago when I moved here. I had a place for 5 or 10 years, and then I was selling it. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do. Well, let me check the market. Let me do whatever works for you. What worked for me is I put it up for sale. But where are you moving? I have no idea. But I move. I do something, right? I get the ball rolling. So I had an estate sale. So now there's nothing in my house in case I get tempted to stay. And there was me, and we talked about this the other day. One of you was laughing at the memory of it. Michael with his camping chair. That's my piece of furniture. Camping chair. So that was it. I found a box. I stuck it there to put my Domino's on, and Domino's pizza on, not Domino's. My Domino's pizza on, and this was my furniture. So what's happening is I'm telling the universe, in case you haven't noticed, I'm done here. And weeks are going by, it's selling, people are looking, they buy, they put an offer. I still don't have a place to live. So I went, oh, that's right. I got to find a place to live. You put it out there. You get things moving. Show some commitment. The hedging, everything in the universe is a mirror of your inside. If you're hedging inside, it mirrors the hesitation. Are you bad for it? No. It's understandable, the hedging. It's a little frightening to make major changes, but, So when I ask you, what do you want me to talk about today? I don't walk in and go, I don't need your opinions. I have something I'm going to tell you. I'm going to teach at you. See, I don't actually feel that. God, you, it's God, self, others. God, what would you have me do? Which I try to stay in that space as much as possible. Self is I'm open, and then what would you like? And you become the tip of that funnel that anchors it to the earth, whatever we're going to talk about. You see? I don't walk in with an ambition. I don't walk in with a memorized talk. It's really an openness. So watch yourselves. You got to heal the tendency to be afraid of commitment first. But as you're doing that and starting to learn trust, you'll start to learn another level of healthy non-commitment, if you have to call it that, which is I'm open. But don't confuse that with non-committal. Work on the non-committal. Work on as much as you can. Try saying yes. It's a policy we have here at the center. I tell the staff. When people come in and say, can you order a certain book? Say yes. When they say, do you have this or that or the other, whatever it is, can I come in and do a workshop? Yes. Start with yes, then talk about the details to see if it's workable. And it might be we change what we can by saying yes, except when we can't. You see? Commit. Put it out there. I say to people when I see a person looks nice, the certain outfit, wow, that outfit's beautiful. That's a commitment. I could see it and be afraid to say it, but now fear won the day. You see? Even committing to compliments is a commitment. Wherever you can, however you can, commit to things more. Look at your life, look at your day, look at today, and keep an eye on yourself. Where are you not committing? I'm feeling something like, well, I went in a store and God, it's so beautifully arranged. Say something. Well, they might think I'm weird. Then just stay shut down. What are the options? Any part of you that's frozen is in hell. Release it. Thaw the lake, man. Come out. Try it. And within your own boundaries, within reason for you. I still have my moments of checking in to see what's the most tactful way of saying something. What's the appropriate way of wording this? If I go to a certain church, a spiritual center, and I'm doing a talk, you would think I can just do a talk like this. No. I've had a couple of them say, we need you to cut back on mentioning the name God. Now, I stopped going. One of them burned down. That wasn't me. I'll teach you not to let me talk about God. Click, click. No. But this is how this world is. Don't mention God. Too much Christy stuff. So I love people and I love to respect where they're at. So I will not just go, no. I will try to respect where they're at. And they say, well, maybe you can word it this way. I'll do what I can to dance with where people are at. I love doing that, and I love people enough to do that. Nevertheless, to be able to commit, to write an article when they ask for an article, or when they, this or that, and I use that. If I'm doing these programs, the mini shorts that people want me to do online, it's a trippy thing because you say something like Christ consciousness, and immediately there's someone, trolling and, oh my God, that's of the devil. I'm happy that happiness is of the devil. Everything's of the devil for some people. Another group, and oh, that's old school. There's always somebody. So you're going to not say anything. So I've learned, just know the truth, but respect the illusion. Try to honor where people are at, but keep moving anyway. Anytime you shut down what you know to be the greater good for the most people, it's not the greater good. Okay? Check in. Come out. Let yourself look beautiful or handsome. Let yourself smile. Let yourself dance. Sing. The song's playing. Just bring it out. And I understand your voice, I don't have a great voice. Then do what you can, but do something. Don't be frozen. Even if you whisper the lyrics, you came out today. Be sure to say, I did it, and give thanks for it. And nobody criticized, right? So you survived it. Look at all the other ways you can come out. Please consider coming out in whatever the environment. But last comment to this. When somebody says to me, I have a partner who won't commit, or they tell me they won't commit. My last point to this is that when you don't commit to things in your life, I swear, subconsciously what you're doing is you're not committing to God. Which sounds like, no, this is opposite. It's mean people I won't commit to, God I love. I'm saying these are connected. Come out, and you're coming out with God. Find a safe way, because God would want that. But come out in some way. Well, there's things I can't say to my partner, then say that to them. There are things I would love to share with you, but I'm afraid of rejection. And if they say, absolutely, I'm right here to reject you completely, then you need to be rethinking the relationship. Well, I don't want to hear that, so I'm not going to come out. You see what you're doing? You're protecting your ego. You're protecting fear. I don't want to say that because they may not like me. No, listen. What you know to be true in here, let the light shine. Jesus' words for that. Who would light a candle and then put it away in a cabinet? You light the candle, let it shine. So let it come out. Let yourself come out. This is not just I kind of hedge on relationships. I'm a little non-committal. That's not a little anything. This is a bigger message. It's actually deep down a commitment issue with God. And what happens is some people don't even want to be on this planet. I feel that regularly. I can see that clearly. Feel the fear and then do it anyway. Show up. See the ladder story I gave? And when I leapt and they caught me, they're like, oh, my God, of course, Michael, of course you went all the way out, man, because you're courageous and all. And I'm like, my heart's going. It was thumping in my chest. They didn't know that, but I could feel it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I know it's not easy, and I'm telling you, I didn't go up there because I've mastered mastery and leapt into my little, Olympic dive. They caught me. They stood me up. I said, okay, everybody ready? And we walked. Nobody could tell. Deep down, when you're troubled, don't let your kids know how afraid you are all the time. Let your role, they need to see you strong, that's fine. But I was also able to let them know and let you know. It wasn't immune to the fear. It's feel the fear and do it anyway. That's the trick. The first trick is appropriateness. And with your children, don't let them know every time you look in your checkbook and you're having a panic attack. You don't dump that stuff on others. But when it's there, sometimes people will benefit to know you're afraid too. You have those same questions, but you handle it differently. Jesus was afraid. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It meant, it's a funny thing, man, because spiritually I know this is all divine guidance and divine order, but man, I can't tell you how anxious I'm feeling inside. How's that different from us? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Please take a few centering breaths. Relaxing and centering. Today, not a visualization, not a journeying in meditation, just a few questions. Have you ever in your life passed on a commitment that later you wish you had stepped up and met? Just let it come to your mind. Anytime you didn't step up to the commitment, you walked away, ran away. Anytime you've missed a commitment, just let it come to mind. What was happening at the time? Were you afraid of failure? Afraid of rejection? Afraid of hurt? Well, just be honest and look at it. What was happening? Now remember, you've already determined that there might have been a great outcome, but you didn't go that way. And if that's even remotely possible, then it means you chose less for yourself. You chose to say no to your good, and you let fear win the day. This isn't to increase guilt over it, to see it, own it. And look at your life today. Is there any area of your life? Let the Holy Spirit help you find these things inside. Any area that you're holding back, lacking commitment. You're being asked to step up. It doesn't have to be big marriage stuff. Commitment at all. Commitment to getting a test done at the doctor's office. Commitment to telling someone that there's things about your relationship that are uncomfortable, even if they're family members. These are all commitments. What is the feeling? What is the feared outcome that's keeping you from committing? The perceived outcome. I'm not asking you to measure the outcome. I'm not asking you how intense it is. Just if it shows up, there it is. A little of this, a little fear of failure, or whatever it is, just see it. And just like days of old, this is holding me back. I'm afraid of losing a friend. And so you're choosing not to live. Like Buddha said, learn to ask questions. Question things, rational processing. If there's a threat of this thing leaving, so you're holding back, you're already in hell anyway. So why not let that end? It has no real power over you. But how about trying out, instead of fear, how about faith? That if you make a healthy choice for your greater good, maybe things will only go better. See, but just leap off that ladder. What if? Lots of what ifs. Leap. At the very least, you can choose what height of the ladder, but leap, even if it's off only the first rung. Make some change, make some words happen. Come out a little bit. And back to where we started earlier in the service, the Spirit of God will say, man, oh man, I love you. You are my beloved child in whom I am well pleased. You did a wonderful job. Yeah, but I only went to the first rung. I said, you did a wonderful job. And God knows that you make the first rung, tomorrow it'll be the second. Next year it'll be the fifth rung, and so on. God knows this. It sees our holiness at the end of the story. It doesn't focus and obsess on our fears that are holding us today. Lastly, imagine the past and the present thing that you hesitated on. Simply imagine yourself having committed and gone through it. I'm not asking the outcome. I'm just saying, see yourself having committed. Imagine that you did, because you do have the courage. Imagine if you went through it again, you would do it right this time and step right up. Not because I'm telling you to run out there and do it. I'm saying put it in your imagination so it becomes a possibility in the neurons of the brain and the beliefs in the soul. Imagining it happening brings it closer to happening. No hiding, no running. Hear the words, I am here now. Say it to all your relations. Say it to those who have witnessed you hiding. Say it to those who have watched you struggle against addiction. An affirmation, I am here now. Say it to everyone. Those who hurt you, abused you as children. Excuse me, no. I'm here now. I don't run, I don't dissociate. I don't flight or fight or fear. I'm here now. All of that ends today. Slowly give thanks in your own way and words inside your heart, your soul, and gradually come back into the room. One of you had asked about spiritual bypassing, and that's one of them. Non-commitment. It's just another form of spiritual bypass. We have to show up. It might seem scary, but we have to show up. Okay? Take a few grounding breaths into the room. Grounding is showing up, guys. Yeah, we can't just be all bliss bunnies floating up here somewhere. We've got to connect with God and anchor it to the earth plane. Yeah. What did you hear or learn today that made the most sense or could be the most helpful to you? Glad to see so many people, processing and wiping away tears of the past. Yes.
That I actually was pretty brave and did a lot right.
You're able to see where you were brave in your life. Yeah?
I haven't fucked up nearly as bad.
Anybody else that doesn't cuss? See, now, there are places that get, offended. They said a naughty word. It's so what? Yes?
I liked the visualization of the rungs, and that it's okay if you're only on the first rung.
It's fine to be one rung up instead of 10. Your head's going to, see, the ego is going to, but if you could only, first the ego is going to say, don't even do it. But then if you're going to do it, go to the 10th rung, because it wants you beyond your means, so you hurt yourself or doubt again. Always messing with you. Never good job where you are. That's called peace. To be good job where you are, that's called peace. Yeah? Thank you. Yes?
I did a trust fall. I worked at a treatment center, and I was running the group, and they said, Dale, it's your turn. And I got up on the table, and it was one of the scariest moments.
Yeah.
To trust them, to,
Right.
to trust myself. And it was like, we can ask others, but it was like, no, it's your turn.
Nice, huh? It's a little challenging in the moment, but you did it. Nice. Anyone else? Yes?
I was in the audience when you asked years ago, and I never regretted
You were in the audience when I asked what?
if we wanted you to stay.
Oh, see, I have witnesses. He was there when I said, you guys want me to stay or go? This is for real. I mean, I'm just, hey, what do you want? What do you guys want? Because I don't feel any particular things happen, and then I come out and I go with what happened and emerge from that. You follow? I just adapt to the next thing. It's not because of any holiness, perfection. It's just how I am. I feel comfortable. And I think that parents often think overly rescuing to the kids. I gave up living a long time ago when I became a mother. That's not a healthy statement. Or the opposite. Hey, I did my own things. I don't care. I said, kids, do your own thing. I have a life to live. That's selfish. But the other one's the opposite, unhealthiness. You can be healthy and clear enough to know your own needs and take care of what works for you, but also to ask what the children need, what your students need, what your employees need, whatever they happen to be. How can I be helpful today without harming yourself? Today we have a workshop, by the way, on creating fulfilling relationships, and that's with God, self, and others. It's about an hour away from now. And it's all about that concept of balance. But romance is part of that. Some people, well, I'm afraid. How do you, I remember being on tour sharing this, God, back in the 1990s. And some people were like, no, Michael, that would never fly. Thank God, about 10 years later, other spiritual teachers started catching on after they've had enough failed relationships. They started agreeing with what I was saying, which was, guys, if you go into a full relationship, oh my God, but what if it's not the right? What if it's not the right one? What if this and that? Stop. Just try measured doses of anything, even going to the gym. Well, I heard if you're out of shape, it could hurt you. Stop. Start somewhere. Measured doses. You decide the container. You decide your boundaries. But time agreements. Instead of going and looking for Mr. and Mrs. Right and finding that person, committing forever, just start with, this feels really good. But see, I'm not the type to go, this feels really good. Could we get together and hedge for a while and let's just look at each other and wish we could go further? I'm serious. So I would meet somebody and say, tell you what, this is feeling pretty good. Yes, it is. They agree. Great. Why don't we agree? 6 months, man, let's go full on. Fully in love, fully playful. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take 8 years to get to know you and then trade you in. I want to go full on now. But to some people, they're like, that sounds weird. No, you give yourself a certain time that you both agree on, and then within that container, fully let go. See, when people say, I'm looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right forever, you're sabotaging. You're trying to sabotage that it might work. I would rather have 1 year fully beautiful than no years ever doing anything. Even in the relationship, people are hedging. Find a way that you can make some sort of framework that you're okay with, and then within that, please go for it. Make sense? Thank you. We're going to do our collection and our closing prayer. Committing to God, self, and others. Committing to God, self, and others, yeah. Please be as generous as you can be. We greatly appreciate it. We say that when we're ending a month, the extra donations are appreciated because it helps us clear things for the month. And your donations go in the purple bags, or online, you click the button where the little option is for donating. Any extra donations you can share, coins at the bottom of your purse or generosity of any kind in the baskets, because those specifically go to special projects or people of lesser means that we help out, okay? Please take your love offering, hold that to your heart. This is our prosperity blessing. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you. Please understand that when I'm saying come out and all that, please never think that I'm the type that could be insensitive enough to say, ignore your hurts. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't let them control you the rest of your life. Come out where you can do so safely, but create that safe environment so you have less reasons to say that you can't come out, all right? But guys, please make commitments how you can, where you can, particularly towards your spiritual, God, self, others. Towards your spiritual path, commit to meditating. Well, I can't meditate by the time I get to 20 minutes, I'm too distracted. Try 1 minute. Don't make excuses. Your ego is trying to keep you from meditating by saying you don't know how to concentrate. Try 10 seconds. Successful 10 seconds is still a success. Come out of that going, I just meditated for the first time. Your ego is going to go, oh yeah, big shot. That was 10 seconds. It was perfect. You follow? Seriously. Commit, man. Commit to sobriety. And if you're not there, you're not ready to stop drug, alcohol, whatever it happens to be, just only you're asked to do your best. Okay? Just do your best. Forget the rest. But do something playful. Sing a little more. Do yoga. Do spontaneous dance. Oh, I would never want to dance in front of people. Try it in your living room with nobody there. What if people see through the blinds? Shut the blinds. I don't have any. Use your bed sheets. Shut up. With all the excuses, come out. It's okay. What will people think? Who knows? Who cares? It can't be the worst thing they've ever seen. You know, like just whatever you want to do, just shine your light. Like, you know, you'd be like, I just feel like doing yoga, but when I do, I want to say hello to the sky. Do it. Well, they're going to think I'm a pagan. Who cares? Let them think you're a pagan. And what are you going to do out on the lawn? You know, like how crazy could it be? Just go out, smile, flowers, let it be. Do, you know, Chuck Berry, the little Chuck Berry, duck walk. Remember that? You would do the little, if that's what you're doing on your lawn, they may not get it. They'll say, I think they're having a spastic attack. Who cares? Come out. Come out. Be at peace. Smile and laugh. If they want to get to know you, they'll know you're out there, man. But you've given them advance notice. Anyway, please stand for our closing prayer. Centering into gratitude. Centering into the folks online and in the room that today, for whatever reason, brought up some processing. Let your heart not be troubled. God is not only at your side, but dwells in your being and is there to shine light, to help disperse the dark clouds and memories. Hear the voice of thousands of people that watch this program every Sunday. Thousands of people around the world are repeating this to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anything that's ever hurt you, ever made you hesitate, ever caused you harm. We are truly sorry. Let not your heart be troubled. Come out wherever you are. God is lighting your path. Even if it's one step at a time, come out. Our lives would be made better if you would come forward and walk with us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we go, God is, I am, we are, and so it is. Peace be with you all. God bless.